There we go. Little technical difficulty, but we're over it quickly this time. Don't need for you guys to be telling me that I was not you couldn't hear me. But yeah, guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Here for a Austria versus Italy preview. Italy versus Austria preview, however you wanna phrase it. What a tournament it's been. Euro 2020 lived up to the hype. Italy lived up to the hype, and yeah, like this team, I'm so excited for this team to play. Like, I'm already hyped for the match tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time, and it will be played in the UK. It will be played at Wembley Stadium. I wish I could go to watch it, man. But I looked at tickets. Tickets were looking kind of pricey. You know, they were looking like £150 for like the cheapest ticket in the category 3. So, you know, it is what it is with the reduced crowd. But yeah, even normally would have been quite expensive anyway. But yeah, how are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? Let me know in the comments who's in the house at the moment. Give you a little quick shout out, whoever's in here. And in terms of we got Roberto in the house. I'm guessing you're replying to saying if you could hear me. Yeah, appreciate that, Roberto. Quick statistical look at Italy, the way that they've been playing in this tournament. Let me just pull it up right quick. I mean, you know, second highest goal scorers alongside Belgium, Portugal, and obviously Netherlands the top with 8. But you know, at the start of the tournament, I wouldn't expect Italy to be right up there, even though I know this Italy team and the Mancini are attacking. And shots per game, 20 shots per game, according to who scored in this final stage of the Euros. That's a crazy amount of goals. 3 matches, 20 shots per game average. You know, beating the likes of Spain, the likes of Netherlands and Germany, France. You know, France are like all the way down here in 14th with 10. So we're doubling France's shots per game. Portugal down here with 9.3. So it just shows it shows how well Italy are playing going forward. You know, we're creating lots of chances, lots of scoring opportunities, and discipline-wise, look at that. Only one yellow card for Italy in the whole tournament in 3 games. So that's another great sign from a team that's, you know, is gelling, is disciplined and knows what it's doing. You know, it's not being caught out on a counter-attack where you need to take out players on in a professional foul, all these types of things. Possession-wise, they're up there as well. You know, obviously Spain, ridiculous 69.3% possession. But as I said in my previous videos, I just feel like Spain is a lot of sterile possession to me. A lot of possession that's just possession for possession's sake, if you know what I mean. Whereas with Italy, I feel like it's very purposeful possession, 58%. And it's a lot of it feels like, you know, they're trying to create openings or they're trying to control the match. So really, really impressed there. Pass percentage, or are they 6? But you know, there's very small percentages in between the others. Aerials, this one should be they should be pretty down low. Yeah, 20th down here with 9.7. You can see these are the teams that put the game to more of physical aspects: Scotland, Poland, Russia, Denmark, Sweden. It's Wales, as we know, we played them. You know, they play, you know, with these long balls to the big strikers up front. So no surprise there. But yeah, man, in general, Italy, such an impressive team these past 3 games. But can they continue it? Can they continue it through to the next stage? Yeah, we got Zizo in the house. We got my man Mo. What's up, Mo? Good to see you, my bro. Now Biggie, of course. It's not a video from Uncle Sharma or Inter Worldwide if now Biggie's not in the house. Italy played their sideshow team versus Wales too, exactly as Roberto said. That's what gives us the Wales game. Gave me even more confidence because it was Italy's second string team. 8 changes out of 11 in the starting lineup, and still performing just as well. I thought in some parts, I thought Italy even played better than they did with the starting 11. But obviously, that starting 11 is untouchable. But yeah, let's have a. It's been a while since I caught you live. It always feels like you're in there anyway. In spirit, you're always here now, Biggie. None. Don't worry. We always feel you right here. But yeah, let's look at the lineups for Italy and Austria, because there's a few interesting talking points as I've put in the scroll down below. It should be pretty much unchanged from the first two matches. We know the 4-3-3 now is. I don't know why WhoScored always put Barella on the left-hand side, even though he's always on the right-hand side, which is confusing and annoying. Spinazzola, he's, cemented his place in the left-back position for sure, for 100%. One of the best fullbacks in this tournament right now. Definitely the best Italian fullback at the moment on form. 7.38 he's given average rating from WhoScored in this tournament. He's just been electric on that left-hand side. Emerson, no chance. He was decent against Wales, but we saw Emerson just lacking that dynamism and the energy that Spinazzola brings. Bonucci, Di Lorenzo now, I think he's cemented his place ahead of Florenzi as well, which I'm happy about. And I've always wanted Di Lorenzo anyway, originally. And now Florenzi's injury I think he's recovered now, but I think he's still Di Lorenzo will still keep his place quite rightly. Bonucci, the captain. Speaking of Bonucci, quick funny little interesting point. Italy's national team have together decided not to take, the knee, that the Black Lives Matter knee that most teams have been taking before kickoff, right before the whistle for kickoff. And Bonucci is doing a press conference. It's actually, I don't know, it's supposed to be quite soon, like maybe right now as we're speaking. He's having this press conference where he's going to explain why the Italian national team have decided for that. But it's just funny the fact that they chose Bonucci to be the guy to be talking about this, because he's in the past, it's not been his PR. Let's say Bonucci's PR is not great at the moment in terms of when it comes to these social, racial type issues. We know about the things he said in the past about Moise Kean and stuff. He's just, he's not very highly regarded when it comes to these things. So it was a bit of a weird choice. I thought Chiellini as the captain and someone who, well educated, he's got a master's in business administration, speaks English. I thought maybe he could have been the guy put forth, but yeah, weird that they went with Bonucci. He probably volunteered himself to do it, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to actual football talk. Acerbi is in the WhoScored predicted lineup because Chiellini's still an injury doubt, as it says here, out with injury. So it's going to be between Acerbi and Bastoni. And what do you guys think? I know you guys as Interisti, most of the audience, you guys are Interisti. I know you guys are going to be pushing for Bastoni, and I think, as Johan says, Bastoni not starting, but with the thing with Acerbi, and as I've said this in the past, I want Bastoni to start. That's pretty clear. I want Bastoni to start, but I understood, in that match against Switzerland when he brought on Acerbi instead of Bastoni, because I said Bonucci and he didn't bring on Bastoni, he brought on Acerbi. Bonucci and Acerbi have played together for most of Italy's qualifiers. So they've built up a partnership, and it makes sense, and especially with Acerbi's experience. He's 31, he's played at Milan, he's played at Lazio, he's played at Sassuolo, he's been all over the place. He's experienced and know how coming in cold in a match. It makes sense that he brought in Acerbi. But that kind of indicated that there might be the hierarchy that, after Chiellini, it's Acerbi, then Bastoni. But against Wales, Bastoni was top notch. He was one of the candidates for man of the match, kept Bale quiet, created chances. I think he was, I think the stats said he created like 2 or 3 chances, which is, for a centre back. And we know what his left foot does as Interisti. He's such a creative outlet, even as a centre back. And then Acerbi had a little mistake as well. If you guys remember, there was a ball over the top, which he misjudged. And I think it was Bale or Ramsey could have done better in that position. So I think performance-wise, and obviously I keep saying, future-wise, Mancini needs to think about the future of the next World Cup, for the next Euros. Bastoni is the future of this Italian national team. He should be getting the start ahead of Acerbi, in my opinion. And I think you guys will mostly agree. I know WhoScored have put in Acerbi, but I have a sneaky suspicion that Mancini will go with Acerbi. Mancini, since he's been the Italian national team coach, he's been making these, decisions that in the past I would have not expected Mancini to make, because he's a very, we know with Italian coaches, especially when it comes to youth, they're very resistant to put youth over experience. But with Bastoni, like, when you're good enough, it doesn't matter how old you are. And I think Bastoni is just good enough, as Conte saw in the last 2 seasons at Inter. And I think Mancini knows that Bastoni needs to be the starting. But I won't, if Acerbi does start, I won't be mad at it. But I would prefer definitely Bastoni to be starting. Yeah, now Biggie wasn't particularly impressed with Emerson. I don't think he really did himself any favors, did he, in terms of raising his profile. Now being that third choice left back at Chelsea, he's definitely probably looking for a move now. And yeah, Florenzi as well. He's also been linked with Inter like Emerson, so not particularly a big fan of either of those. With Emerson, it's like, it could be okay if Chelsea give us a favorable favorable deal. If they're asking for the 15-20 million that's been rumored for their third choice left back, get out. If it's a loan with a possible option or a low buy option, or we can share wages, things like that, things that make sense, then it makes sense to make someone like Emerson in to be challenging for that position, because he's not bad, but he's just quite an average player. So yeah, I'm happy that those two not starting and won't be coming to Inter by the looks of it for now. Mo's asking a question: do you think Spinazzola might play better on the right, as he's a right-footed player? I know he's playing, yeah, as you said, he has played left back for most of his life. I think he just enjoys, because he started his career as a winger, and you can see he's more of a winger than a fullback. He's definitely more comfortable going forward than defending. But I think it just adds that extra. He just seems more comfortable. I remember reading or watching an interview of him. He's just more comfortable, because he's just played there most of his life. And we've seen there's a few left back these days that doing that inverted wing. Philip Lahm used to do that back in the day. Inter legend Davide Santo used to do it. We saw Kieran Trippier did it for England. And it just opens up different angles, doesn't it, when you're right-footed looking inwards to the field, whereas a left-footed player on the left-hand side has different angles. And we've seen the way Italy play is, he's not really a left back most of the time. With Italy controlling the ball, it's a 3 at the back. Di Lorenzo tucks in as the third centre back. You got Bonucci, and then Acerbi or Bastoni or Chiellini on the left-hand side. So in possession, he really is just a winger, and that's his most favourable position. And he's at Roma most of the time, I think Roma fans moan about him not cutting in or going on the outside with his left foot. But we've seen in this tournament, he's gone on the outside a few times, and defenders just don't know which side to go on with this guy. That most of the time he's probably going to cut inside, but because Insigne is always in that half space, it just makes sense for Spinazzola to go wide and go on the outside. So now I would keep Spinazzola on that left hand side, especially with the. We play that system, because if he goes on the right hand side, it would mean that the left back would have to be tucking in a little bit more. So we don't really have. I don't really trust Emerson to be as good defensively or whatever. So I would keep it as it is. Roberto says he's not an Inter fan. Okay, fair enough. But Bastoni should be starting. There you go. Even as a non-Inter fan. Gianluca Mancini wasn't even called up. The fact that Mancini was to keep relatively experienced. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that. I'm not a big fan of Gianluca Mancini, but I thought that he should have gone in rather than Toloi. Toloi did well against Wales, and I don't mean that he's a bad defender. I just felt like it was a weird decision to bring in a guy who never had caps for Italy, Italo-Brazilian, 32-year-old. Who's been great for Atalanta, but I thought it made sense to just bring in like a 25-year-old Italian versatile defender like Mancini, who's very comfortable on the ball. But in Mancini we trust. But yeah, as he said, maybe it does show that that's the Italian coach thing I'm talking about. They always have this bias towards experience of a youth. The Italian coaches is just frustrating sometimes. But with Mancini, he's shown a bit more like adaptability and like ideas or risk taking with some of the youth. You know, he's given so many debuts in this. I think he's the national team coach who's given the most debuts in this tournament. He's given like a crazy, I think it's over 30 debuts over his 2 or 3 years that he's been coaching in Italy. So it shows that he's willing to give chances. But yeah, I hope he goes for Bastoni. Aaron, what's up, bro? I guess you're talking about Inter. We settled with Di Marco. Yeah, the Di Marco thing isn't confirmed yet, though. So we'll see. I'm definitely in favor of bringing Di Marco back, having Perisic and Di Marco fighting it out on that left-hand side, especially with Ashley Young's departure. But we'll see. I wish Spinazzola had as much confidence as Emerson. There's so many times he's in a good shooting position, but opts to pass inside both for Italy and Roma. I'm guessing maybe you're a Roma fan, so you probably know him better than most of us. But I think he's got confidence. It's just, that's why he used to be a winger and now he's a fullback, because he just doesn't have that shooting ability. But I'm not sure what you mean by as much confidence as Emerson. Emerson has like 1 goal in like 3 years at Chelsea, and even at Roma, I think he had like 2 or 3 goals. Like his assist numbers are awful for an attacking fullback. So I know what you mean, that maybe he should take shots more often. But yeah, it's just, that's why he's a fullback now. Mancini's too slow and mistake prone. Yeah, that's my same thoughts on Gianluca Mancini. Roberto agrees as well. Mancini can make mistakes, but that comes with being aggressive and playing under Fonseca. I think he plays the ball out from the back. Yeah, exactly. He's one of the best ball playing centre backs in Europe, in my opinion, when it comes to having the ball at his feet. When it's like defending and marking and positioning, that's where I have my issues with Mancini. But on the ball, he's so good. I saw him when he had to play as a midfielder for Roma a couple of times, and he was so good even there. So my Emerson is a Class A brick. No one was impressed with him. Ethan, yeah, let's get into who is my midfield 3. So we talked about the back line. Obviously, Gigio Donnarumma is unmovable, new soon-to-be PSG keeper. No arguments there, is it? My midfield is that one, the one that Who Scored is showing, with Barella on the right-hand side, as I keep saying. Jorginho is the unmovable. Barella is another unmovable. And the left-hand side, Locatelli or Verratti, Loca or Vera. And I'm a Verratti guy. He was so good against Wales. It didn't even feel like this guy was out injured for more than a month. What are his stats? He came in one game. He had shot creating actions per 90. He has 10 shot creating actions in that match, which is the best in the whole competition. Obviously, he hasn't played as many minutes as the other guys, but more than De Bruyne. And look where Insigne is. Insigne's got 6.69 shot creating actions. So Verratti, especially combining on that left-hand side with Insigne, with Spinazzola, in the last match he had to combine with Chiesa or Bernardeschi or Emerson. Imagine now him on that left-hand side, creating that chain with Spinazzola overlapping on the outside, Insigne tucking in as he likes to do, and then him feeding those balls to those 2 guys. Oh man, we're going to be feasting. Yeah, I was initially, as I said, it's 50-50 for me. Like, I'm completely fine with continuing with the Locatelli, because he was so good. 2 goals against Switzerland. I think people are kind of overhyping it a little bit. His first match was good as well, but there was clearly some nerves as well. In that first match, he wasn't. The tournaments can create this kind of overhype on a singular player. I love Locatelli, but the hype that's being created on him now is getting a little bit excessive. And as I've said, there's levels to the game, and I feel like Verratti is just that notch above most of the players in this Italy team. He's a truly elite player. But Locatelli is in form. He's a little bit more physical. He's a little bit more athletic. He's probably got a little bit more goal threat. I know he scored those 2 goals, but that's not usual for Locatelli to score 2 goals in a match. He's adding that to his game. Even in Sassuolo, I think this season was the highest scoring season for him, because he took some penalties as well. So he's adding that to the game, which is something that Verratti's never had in his game. He scores like 2 or 3 goals a season on average, and in general, he hardly ever shoots. He's one of those guys that prefers passing than shooting. Like, clearly, you can just see him in a shooting position. You're like, shoot, bro, shoot, and you'll pass. He's just one of those guys. But yeah, I'm so torn. I keep flicking in between. What do you guys think? Locatelli or Verratti? Yeah, man, it's a shame that Verratti, we never got him to go to see him play in the Serie A, because he was taken from us from when he was in the Serie B with Pescara, Leonardo. Man, that he's been the downfall of Serie A, man. Leonardo. He's the reason why we're called Serie A, because this guy took every good player, like back in the day, Pastore, Verratti, Ibrahimovic, Thiago Silva, Lavezzi, Cavani, Thiago Motta. Like, this guy, Maxwell, this guy literally decimated Serie A. And now Donnarumma, like, this guy is literally decimated Serie A. So Leonardo, man, but interesting, we like him because he paid way above the odds for Icardi, and now it looks like he might pay way above the odds for Hakimi. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk about the other teams afterwards now. Biggie Mo says Locatelli, Verratti, Barella. So you'd put Verratti in the regista position, but I don't know, man. Jorginho has just done so well there. He's been one of the players of the tournament. I don't know how you can move Jorginho out. He's been the one that's played every single match, and he's learned. I think his time in England has really helped him, develop. He's not a very physical guy. He's not a very athletic guy, and defensively he's improved a lot. I think he's got the most tackles in Italy's midfield. He's got the most interception as well as in the whole Italy squad. He just keeps the team ticking over silently. And, Verratti, I know everyone sees him more as a regista player, but even for PSG, he plays more in that left centre mid of a 3 midfield. So that is really his position. I'm not really sure. I'm sure he'd be fine in that position as well. But defensively, when Italy are defending, I would feel a little bit more safe with Jorginho there. I think Verratti's position really is the one where him and Locatelli are fighting out for, but could work out. Yeah, Verratti and Jorginho have very similar roles, and it's very similar to the Inter midfield I've pointed out. Like, that left centre mid is like similar to what Eriksen does at Inter. Jorginho has the Brozovic role, and then Locatelli or Verratti come in very deep or sometimes are next to Jorginho, even deeper than Jorginho at times. And then Barella has got the same role that he has at Inter, kind of little half space on the right-hand side. Most advanced midfielder usually almost, on the right wing at times. So it's very, this Italy team, there's a lot of similarities to Inter. We've seen some of the patterns of play as well are very similar to Inter. Aaron agrees with the midfield. And yeah, if that's the thing, if things don't go well, let's say Verratti, he's still recovering, maybe not be 100%, he's not performing, take him out, put Locatelli in. That's the depth of this midfield. That's the depth that Inter can't let go of Inter. That's the depth Italy have got going next. A fit Sensi, yeah, a fit Sensi. That's just the biggest oxymoron. Sensi and fit just doesn't seem to go together, but we pray for that guy, man. We pray for that guy. Hey, Harry in the house. Hope you're good. Yeah, hope you're good too, bro. Hoping Barella can score. People over here in the UK don't know how good he is. Yeah, let's keep it that way, bro. Let's keep it. Let's keep Barella. I don't care if these Prem fans don't rate him or these UK guys don't rate him. I don't care. As long as we know, Inter fans, obviously we know, but as long as Italian fans know, and that's all that matters. He's been performing well, but it's not been, the Barella that we saw in the first 6 months at Inter this past season. I think that kind of set the standards way too high. Now, every time we see Barella playing, he doesn't score or assist or do, crazy things. We kind of feel like he's at an underwhelming match. But the work that he does for this Italy team off the ball is so underrated. So, yeah, I don't care if these Prem fans don't rate him. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep his reputation down, his price down, everything. So no one's interested in him. And yeah, he's definitely on the way to be future Inter captain. Yeah, we'll talk about Austria in a minute. Let me just finish off the match lineups, predicted lineups. We'll look at who to watch out for the Austria team. Up front, I think, yeah, front three. What do you guys think? I think that's bang on for me. Immobile is definitely now. There's no more argument, I think, for now, for the Belotti Immobile thing. Immobile, he scored his 3 goals. He's played well as well, like not just the goals. He's linked up well, especially with Insigne and Berardi. I think Chiesa's definitely giving him a run for his money. He won man of the match in the match against Wales. He was very lively. We know what he does 1v1, but I think Berardi, as I've always said, I prefer that inverted winger. I love, Berardi cutting in with Insigne cutting in, Spinazzola going on the outside. And yeah, I feel I would keep that front three for sure. I'm expecting a little bit more from Insigne. I know we saw he's got, very high shot creation, but I want more involvement from him. I want more higher quality involvement from him. I want more goals, more assists from Insigne. This should be his tournament, man. He's 30 years old now. We need an Insigne to reach that world-class level that, many thinks he has, and I think he can reach that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that front three. Yeah, Berardi's fit. He was just rested for the Wales match, so he's definitely going to be okay. Well, that's what it says on there. It doesn't seem to say on the who scored that he's got any injury. So he should be okay, Berardi, from what I believe. And now to look at the Austria squad. So it's an interesting team. It's a weird team. I don't know what to make of them. They're kind of like, they remind me, they're not just because they're neighboring countries, but they remind me a lot of Switzerland. They've got a couple of standout players, but then the rest of the team is very, very average to me. Very, normal, like, a 4-star team on FIFA. If you know what I mean. It's just like, it's decent, but I haven't really watched them that much actually in this tournament. I think it's one of the teams that I've not really tuned into. I watched their match against the Netherlands, where they didn't look that good, and then I watched all the highlights now, but I haven't really watched them match for match. But I know, obviously, we know who the main player is, and he's also the highest rated on the who scored for them as well. David Alaba, captain, Bayern Munich legend, now Real Madrid player. They play primarily like a 3 at the back, but last match they switched to 4 at the back, which makes sense, I think, to go 4-3-1, because yes, Alaba plays centre back for Bayern Munich a lot, and we'll see where he plays for Real Madrid. But for Austria, they put him everywhere. Poor guy, like, this guy just does a job for them everywhere. He was played even in the center of a 3 in some matches, and it doesn't look right. Like, he was against Holland, he was playing against what's his name, Weghorst, who's like 6'5". It was completely, not a good matchup, and he's much better going forward than defensively. And his crossing ability is still one of the best. I still think left back or midfield is probably his best position for me. But I haven't watched him play at Bayern, but people tell me that, or when I watched him in the Champions League, he looks completely fine as a centre back. But it's different playing centre back for Bayern Munich when you're playing a high line and you're dominating possession. And you got Neuer behind you, and you got Schuler and Boateng and these guys next to you, Alphonso Davies. But when you got Hinteregger and Dragovic next to you, who are very slow centre backs, and Bachmann in goal, who's a Watford goalkeeper, English Championship goalkeeper, who obviously now they got promoted, but not the highest level. It's not the same. So defensively, they're definitely susceptible. I think Italy can definitely have some fun going forward, as they have been against the other teams, just like they did against Switzerland. Obviously, Sabitzer, Red Bull Leipzig player, he's definitely one of the players to definitely watch out for, man. He's a quite an inconsistent player, but on his day, we've seen some of the goals he scored. That assist he had in the first match for Liner, he did that cutting, the techers on that was so good. and obviously he's one of the leaders of the team. And obviously Inter fans will know about Marko Arnautovic, Inter legend, who had like 6 appearances for Inter in the triplete season, came to Inter as the new Ibrahimovic, or the Austrian Ibrahimovic. Never quite worked out, but you could see this guy had talent and physically very, very gifted, strong pace, can dribble, but super inconsistent. Spent like a year or so in China, so he's not been playing top level football for a while, but he's capable of great goals. Like, this guy can score goals from outside the box, can create chances for himself, but not the greatest of finishes. Against Ukraine, he missed like 2 great opportunities, 1v1 against the keeper, completely fluffed his line, and bit of a hothead as well. So, if Chiellini was there, it would have been great, because he would have been able to get him vexed, get him angry quite easily. Or maybe Bonucci can do that. But yeah, that's I'm not really, apart from those guys, I don't really see too much stand out apart from Alaba, Sabitzer, and Arnautovic in terms of standout talent. Where are they in terms of goals? Austria, they are, where are they? 16th with four goals. So, oh no, wait, is that? Oh, it's not even doing it properly. 1 second. Where are they? Austria, also the 8th with 4 goals. So yeah, not too bad. How many shots per game do they have? 12.3, the 10th. Yeah, so as I say, they're a very mid-level team. You can see it with a lot of these stats, they'll be just bang in the middle with like around the 10th place with possession. Or are they? Yeah, 10th once again, 53% possession, passing percentage. Or are they 15th? Aerials 1, 16th. Yeah, so they're not particularly physical team. Yeah, so I'm not really sure what else to say in terms of these guys. There was an interesting stat actually from that account I like to show you guys often here, Calcio Datato, which shows the territorial domination. Look at Italy are second after Spain, and this shows the percentage of passes in the final third. So it shows like how Italy squash teams, and look how high up Italy are. Spain are crazy with 88%, but Italy 74%. But Austria, not too bad, 64%. So they do like to, take control of a game. They're not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be like the Wales match where they just sat back and kind of tried to counterattack. I think Austria will try to take the game to Italy with a little bit of higher pressing. And as you can see here, Austria are actually better pressers than Italy, but slightly. So Spain, once again, the best pressers. They wait, or there's 5. They allowed less than 5 passes before making a defensive action. So Spain, 4.7 passes allowed before making a defensive action, and Austria 9 passes, and Italy 9.5. So very. So you could say they're a very well organized and coached team that know how to press. And in terms of crossing percentage, we see Scotland and Hungary, Poland, these guys are just crossing, inshallah. Whereas Austria, yeah, quite far down with 16%, and Italy very low with 12%. So it should be an interesting match. It should be, I'm not expecting Austria to be, trying to be terrorist and things like that. So, and I think a few of you guys mentioned Lazzaro. He is a injury doubt, but he doesn't start. He doesn't start anyway. So, and we know as Inter fans, he's not a particularly big miss. Although he does play more for Austria than he does for his club teams, by the sound of it. But yeah, we'll see. No, Arnautovic isn't banned, Harry. He was banned for just that match or 2 matches. I'm sure. Yeah, 1 match I think it was. That's it, and he's back. And yeah, Lazaro did get some minutes, but not particularly great. Oh, Mo says they're really bad. Sorry, yeah, I'll if you say that, then I've just looked at the stats. But as I said, I've only watched the Netherlands match where they didn't look good, but then the other matches I didn't watch. So if you say they're really bad and very unorganized, then I'll take your word for it. Mo, but it's just the stat wise there, they look pretty good in terms of their pressing and their possession. Big ups to you, RB Comps, as well. And no drip god, Lazzaro, the drip god. This guy came in. We'll see what Inzaghi does with him this summer, but yeah, very disappointing transfer. But yeah, in terms of match prediction, I agree. I agree with Harry and agree with RB Comps. I'm going for my initial last couple of previews have been a little bit negative. I've been like 2-1 or 3-1. But now I'm just confident with this Italy team keeping a clean sheet. I don't see where the threat really is from Austria. But you never know in these tournaments. These players sometimes, when they hear that national anthem, they step up to the next level. But I'm going for a 2-0 win like you guys. I think that's realistic, and I think that's the most likely outcome to me. I think that's the outcome Who Scored have gone as well for. Yeah, this was the perfect chance for Lazzaro to showcase to the world what he really can do. But yeah, unlucky. Perisic, the only player who's on the sell list that is performing. Yeah, I'm not really sure if he's on the sell list. I'm not sure how true these reports are. Because then who the hell have you got left on the left-hand side if you sell Perisic? Spain are high up because they just fuck around in the opponent's third. And yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning. They're just a lot of their passing and possession is a little bit stale and empty. But they have really high chance creation though as well. Like I think they have the highest XG of the whole tournament, and thanks to Morata, they haven't really been able to convert it. I read that Morata has a higher XG than the whole England team. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the big salary is definitely an issue with Perisic. I think he earns around 4 or 5 million net. So he's probably, if there is an offer, he would be probably, interested. Inter would be interested to sell him, but I'm not sure why Inzaghi, it wouldn't be in Inzaghi's plans. These early season, he hasn't even got to pre-season yet. I wouldn't read into these reports. Johan says Austria are awful. If Italy doesn't win, it's a bigger loss than the exit against Sweden. Hey, man, we'll see. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. The international tournament, you never know, man. What I like about this Italy teams are quick and easy touch, find players between the line to hurt. Yeah, this is what we like as well, man. The way that these guys are playing visually is just so good to watch. Need Chiesa to play if Alaba plays a left back. No, I mean Berardi has been doing good defensive work, especially when you play for the national team, and with Di Lorenzo, who's tucked in anyway. That right hand side, it should be fine. Is that if it was a right back, with Spinazzola bombing up and down, then I think the right hand side would have been something to worry about. So we'll see if Lina can actually it can take advantage of Spinazzola when he's high up, but. Yeah, I'm confident with the Di Lorenzo and Berardi and Barella on that right hand side being able to handle Alaba. But yeah, those crosses on the left hand side are definitely to watch out. And then let's finish it off, guys, with some the other round of 16 matches. Let's have a quick look at the other matches and quick thoughts. Belgium Portugal, man, what a match that's gonna be, and that's obviously the match that's gonna most likely, if Italy, God willing, beat Austria as planned. I think it will be Belgium, even though they haven't looked convincing. I just think Lukaku's current form, De Bruyne coming back in, Hazard looks like he's hitting form just at the right time. Their defense doesn't look great, but Witzel's come back into the team. Tielemans has had such a good year for Leicester. I just think they have too much. They didn't look, Portugal. Once again, I mean, even in 2016 when they won the bloody tournament, they didn't even look good. And now again, the team is even better and so stacked, but they still just don't look good. And then under Fernando Santos, they just don't play good football. I wouldn't be surprised if Belgium lose or Portugal take it to extra time and get a snaky win. But for me, I think it will be Belgium. France, Switzerland should be France. As we saw, Switzerland are okay. France haven't been great, but I think France will just hit the next gear now that the things are getting serious. This is when the big boys come out to play. Croatia, Spain. Now that one's an interesting one. What do you guys make of Croatia, Spain? That's an interesting one. Let me your thoughts on the Croatian Spain. Yeah, let's hope Lukaku destroys CR7. Yeah, the two Serie A boys representing, and hopefully, Lukaku's been in such good form, man. He's front runner to be best player of this tournament and top scorer. Bruno Fernandes, fraud for Portugal. Yeah, he didn't even start the last game against France, so I don't think he should start the next game either. Bye England. Belgium win this Euro. Lukaku wins MVP. There's a chance. Yeah, I've been saying that for a while, that Lukaku's definitely up there. People laugh at that Ballon d'Or comment, but if all those things line up, Scudetto, Serie A MVP, player of the tournament for Euros, top scorer of the Euros, Belgium win, he's going to be right up there. Don't laugh, non-Inter fans. Do not laugh at Lukaku Ballon d'Or shouts. Croatia for sure. Perisic can hurt Spain. Yeah, I have not been impressed with Spain at all. But just the way, like, Croatia don't look good either, though, guys. Like, against Croatia, against the Scotland, they go through, with those individual moments. Against England, they looked really bad. That midfield's great on paper, and it is great, like, when they keep the ball, but they just don't really have much cutting edge. Without a proper striker like Mandzukic. Perisic turns into, prime Johan Cruyff when he plays for Croatia. He just has that next extra gear. This guy is just so good when he plays for Croatia in the knockout phases of tournaments. He's just so good. But I don't know. Spain, I know they haven't scored the chances they created, but at some point, surely Morata, Moreno, these guys will start converting all these chances they create. It will be a great match, both really technical midfields, technical teams. And at the back as well, Croatia don't really convince me. Vida and Lovren or Chaleta Sarr. Vrsaljko didn't look very good against England either. So I'm not particularly convinced with this Croatia team. It looks like a team that's kind of at the end of a cycle. Everyone's kind of aging in that team. So I'm going for Spain on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised if, as you guys say, for Croatia to nick it with just that, Perisic, Modric just turning up at crucial points. Sweden, Ukraine. Sweden to get another terrorist win, having 30% possession or something like that and hitting them on the counter. Isak or Forsberg, carrying the team once again. Kulusevski getting the 2 assists last time out. He's back from COVID, so he'll be an interesting player to watch as well. I might put him in my fantasy, actually, Kulusevski. Let's see. What do you guys make of England versus Germany? That will be a tasty one, man. That will be a very, very tasty one. Yeah, everyone seems to be going for Croatia. I don't know how many. Yeah, Slovakia just completely imploded. We saw what happened with that the Dubravka being a complete idiot. Brozovic we had a stinker against England. Everyone's going for Croatia. Yeah, Ballon d'Or is a popularity contest. It's voted by journalists around the world, and who a lot of them that might not even be watching football on a regular basis. Yeah. Sweden, Ukraine, 55-45. Yeah, I guess that's probably rightly weighted. A drunk Brozovic was boss to Spain midfield. Yeah, maybe if he stops, focusing on the crypto and the football stars, maybe he can actually. He's not been very good in this tournament, Brozovic. He's not done his reputation any good. England need to fly home. They're already home. Yeah, that's why I say he's coming home. I reckon they might sneak it, England. Germany just haven't looked that good to me. They lack that striker at the top, like Werner. Havertz playing that kind of false nine just doesn't really convince me. England haven't looked convincing either. I just think it's going to be one of those extra time. England might just sneak it. Netherlands, Czech Republic, I think there has to be one upset somewhere, though. That's the thing. I'm picking all the favorites here, but there will be an upset on the way. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Frank de Boer tax just hits and Czech Republic and Patrick Schick and them man there just sneak a win. There has to be one upset in there. Not all of the matches are going to turn out as we expect. So I don't know. Just because of Frank de Boer, I might go for Czech Republic on that one. That Frank de Boer tax, even though Holland have been looking really good, especially going forward. Wales, Denmark. Oh, that's another difficult one. that Christian Eriksen energy now. The Denmark are getting that second wind. But Ramsey and Bale always turn up for Wales at these tournaments, as we saw recently and at the 2016. Oh, that's such a difficult one. But I'm gonna go for Denmark just for Eriksen, Kjær, and all the boys. Yeah, I'm going for Denmark there. Germany, England is Juve, Fiorentina, all the teams that you hate. If England get through, then they go out to the next round, and yeah, it's looking difficult for. That's the thing now. Like I don't like it when people talk about, oh, we should have finished second or we should have finished third. To like, it's a knockout phase. You just gotta play who's coming in front of you, man. You get lucky with the draw sometimes, yeah, but you know. Well, actually, England, if they go to the next stage, it would be like someone of Sweden and Ukraine. They could, they beat Sweden at the 2018 World Cup. I think England, they have got a little bit lucky with the draw. Yeah, Southgate is such a terrorist, man. Like the lineups he comes up with, I don't understand how someone like Jude Bellingham has got so many like lack of minutes. This guy is balling out for Dortmund in the Champions League, in the Bundesliga on a regular basis. Sancho, Grealish is finally starting to get into the team. But yeah, his selection is really, really annoying. Oh my God, I don't even want to imagine Frank de Boer winning the Euros. Then Inter fans will finally start claiming him finally when he starts performing. Damsgaard and Mela going to wreak havoc against the Wales. Yeah, man. Yeah, Damsgaard having a good tournament as well. Mela as well. He's on my fantasy team. So yeah, let's see. The Dumfries, I don't know. I don't like him. You see, just technically, he looks like he's got cement feet to me, like a cement touch. I know he's going to be scoring all these goals and stuff. He's getting man of the match. Let's not get wrapped up in the Euro 2020 hype. We've seen those things happen with many players in the past. Jean Mario, perfect example. I don't really like what I've seen from Dumfries. He's in my fantasy team as well, but I don't think he's the profile we want for Inter as a wing back. Yeah, man, Goretzka really saved Germany's ass. They were so close to going out. That's why I'm saying that this Germany team is not convincing me. But Goretzka coming back for them is a big plus. But yeah, apart from that, man, like Italy, if they get past to the next stage, Portugal or Belgium, that'll be such a good match. But they can do it. This Italy team can do it. I have faith in this Italy team. I have faith in Roberto Mancini. I have faith in his team selection. I have faith in the fans backing the boys all the way. And we'll see you tomorrow. I will be seeing you guys for the post-match reaction around 10 p.m. Keep a lookout for that. Hopefully, getting Rabona TV, Adrian from Rabona TV, as usual, to react to the post-match. And if you're here, 20 people of you in here, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I'll see you for the post-match tomorrow, guys. Ciao, ragazzi. Forza Azzurri.